There are a lot of things you learn with time in Red Dead Online the more you play. Just like any other game, with the experience you gain, you start to figure out tricks and workarounds that make the game easier, right? The crazy thing though is that you simply don't learn some tricks and you'll never learn them unless someone shares them with you. Hey, don't worry though, because today I'm that person for you, I'm that someone, and I'm going to be telling you 6 tricks you still don't know in Red Dead Online. Hold up a second though, click like and subscribe, join the Fiasco family, and make sure you've got those notifications turned on so you're not missing out on any videos. Before I reveal trick number 1, let's do another quick 25 gold bar giveaway just like last week. Tap like and subscribe right now, and to enter, leave a comment down below with what your favorite gun is in Red Dead Online and why. Last week's gold bar giveaway winner will be mentioned in the pinned comment down below. Let's get started. Trick number 1, infinite consumables. Tonics, provisions, dry goods, canned foods, and everything consumables are a necessity in Red Dead Online. So much so that constantly spending the extra cash you have to buy them can get really annoying, and I'm sure you guys can relate to that. Not to mention crafting higher level tonics and gathering the necessary materials for certain recipes in order to cook better food is a bit of a pain at times too. Check this out. We'll go at it like a checklist, alright? First, you need to find a fence that's about waist high on your character. Could be like a hitching post that you use for your horse, or just like I said, a fence. Number 2, pull up the item in your inventory that you want to consume, whether it's a certain type of meat or a tonic or a provision like a can of pineapples. What's up, bro? What's up, pineapple? You know, just whatever you want to eat, pull that up out of your inventory and get ready to consume it. All right, the last and final step is to start consuming the item you're desiring to consume, and then this part is important. As the character is doing it, you want to vault over the object in front of you, whether it's a hitching post like we mentioned or it's a fence like we mentioned. That's it. It's seriously that simple. You'll notice that your cores will refill or your outer ring will fill, showing that the effects of the item worked, but when you go back into your inventory, you'll still have the same amount of the item you just consumed. This trick is super useful, especially for you new players out there trying to save money, or even for you veterans out there that are feeling a little lazy and you don't want to have to waste time restocking your provisions and tonics or crafting certain items. I get it, trust me. Trick number 2, take no fall damage. Okay, this one has just surfaced in the community. It's bizarre, hilarious, kind of gross, and it actually is helpful. Okay, I know that sounds weird, but here's some context for you. You know how drinking too much or eating certain plants can cause your character to get sick and throw up in game? Well, I hope I'm saying this right and I'm not butchering his name. I'm just going to say Daryl. Daryl here on YouTube has come up with a way to exploit the animation and rappel down mountains, off bridges, and giant cliffs, canceling all the fall damage, like negating every bit of it. You don't take any fall damage when you do this. He calls this trick, listen, he calls this trick vomit roping. Pretty disgusting name, right? Well, it's a pretty good name considering this trick leaves a rope of puke literally trailing behind your character all the way down to the ground where you land. Now, the trick is pretty simple to do. All you need to do is stand near a ledge, keeping the fall on your left side, eat something that will make you vomit, like the common bull rush that Daryl actually uses. You can find them close to Valentine and actually under Bard's Crossing Bridge. There's a good spot for them, so you can use those if you would like. Consume one, and then you'll make your character vomit, and whenever you do, the animation begins and you'll start your very own vomit rope, essentially. The puking animation cancels any fall damage you might take, and like I said, it leaves a trail of sick behind you as you fall, like a disgusting Spider-Man. Seriously, you're gonna laugh at this. It's too good not to share. Vomit roping and not taking fall damage, it's too good. It's too good. Founded by yours truly, you are seeing it here first. Trick number 3, the lasso launch. I hereby claim credit for this trick as I have yet to see it shown anywhere online, including Reddit. Yeah, Reddit of all things, and that's unheard of. If you like this trick and you go on to use it, please be sure and share around the word that you found it here on the channel. This trick is pretty simple and you'll get the hang of it really fast once you understand how to do it, but it can seem a little confusing, so just pay attention. First things first, you need to equip a lasso. Then you need to find a steep hill that will cause your character to slide down it if you try to walk on it. Any hill should work fine as long as it's steep enough. Once you've done these 2 things, you simply need to stand on top of the hill with your back turned towards it. Next, toss your lasso straight out in front of you, and as your character begins to pull it back in, back up down the hill. As your character attempts to fully retrieve the lasso, you'll notice that the slide animation attempts to interrupt it, and as a result, your character ends up getting sent flying into the air. I discovered this by accident with a friend when I was trying to lasso him down from a ledge above me, and it was pretty hilarious, and I tried to repeat it. I figured out what was happening, and I was able to then replicate it and do it whenever I wanted. You can use this trick for a laugh or to get out of the map, like I said, whatever you feel like doing. Getting out of the map is still hard and seems to be pretty tricky because there is an invisible barrier, but occasionally and in the right spot, you will launch over the barrier and get out, and you can go on and explore and do whatever you like. If you don't want to get out of the map, you can simply just do this trick for fun, and surprisingly, for whatever reason, regardless of how high you get thrown, as long as you don't ragdoll too severely when you hit the ground, you live more often than not, so it's almost like fall damage isn't as present. I don't know, it's weird, but try it out, it's fun, and I promise it will at least make you laugh. Trick number 4, free AFK XP, cash, and gold. For those of you that are getting so burnt out on the never-ending Red Dead grind, you'll love this trick, seriously. If you enjoy the grind, well, you may actually like this trick too, so just hear me out. This trick is useful for all players, and it's more helpful than you may think. Currently, there is a secret meta in Red Dead Online that most players don't know about, but some do. Here's the details. Once you load up Red Dead Online, head into a race series. You can load into one from the start menu, or you can quick join one from the online interaction menu in free roam, doesn't matter. Once you get into a lobby, you'll notice that there is quite a few players in the lobby, which will come off as weird at first, but you'll soon find out why. Once the race begins, you'll immediately notice something is off. No one is racing. Well, that's because everyone is AFK. You'll see some players walking in circles, some sprinting in a straight line, and others patting their horses over and over again. Occasionally, you will see a racer, but it's rare. These players are literally AFK, milking XP and ranking up while they tend to their daily activities like going to work, going to school, watching TV, or whatever else they want to do, not having to play. Now, each type of race lasts about 15 minutes on average and pays out a minimal amount of gold, cash, and a decent amount of XP. That's it. It's that simple. All you need to do is throw a rubber band on your joysticks so you keep moving in circles and never get kicked offline for inactivity, or put something heavy enough on your keyboard that will hold the key down for you PC players. Crazy thing is, if you want, you can pick up a weapon drop and get some free Deadeye kills alongside more XP to level up those ability cards, or just your character in general. I know it's cheap, but hey, it's an option and it works. Trick number 5. This one is sort of a mixture of tricks. It's two things. They're different things, but they're kind of small, so I decided to throw them together because they're both related to one another, and that is throwing other players and the stagger shove. Now, you may be thinking, well, I already know what the shove is. That's obvious. Well, there's another version of the shove that's not as aggressive, man, and I'm going to explain to you how to do it every single time on demand. Throwing other players is pretty simple too. First, I'll explain the stagger shove because it's super easy to do. All you need to do in order to perform the stagger shove is equip a long arm weapon or a sidearm and get close to a player or an NPC and simply aim your weapon. Once you aim your weapon, if you're close enough, your character will nudge the person in front of you and push them away, leaving them vulnerable for at least 1.5 seconds, I think. Then you can get a free headshot off or whatever you want to do. Now, I understand the other shove is more reliable because you knock someone down completely, but this one sets up for a quick headshot, whereas the other one is kind of messy. It takes time to shove them down all the way, leaving you open, as well as whenever they're getting back up, you got to try to get that perfect spot for the headshot, and you can miss, and they can actually get up and take you down depending on how heated the situation is and how much you need to watch your own back. It all comes into play there. Now with the regular shove, this little nudge, stagger shove, if you will, you just push them a little bit away and then get a headshot off. Then you have the grapple throw. A lot of players don't know this, and it actually surprises me that people don't, but when I do this in game, whether it's a message or game chat, people always respond to me doing it to them, and they ask, how did you do that? How did you throw me? What are you doing? What are you pressing to do that? And it's really simple. So all you need to do is approach a player from behind, and then you dismiss the grapple in any direction you want to throw them. To do this on controller, you simply hold left, right, forward, or backward on the left analog stick, and then you'll dismiss them in the direction accordingly. And on PC, if you're using a keyboard, you want to hold WASD, you know what I mean, the movement keys, and that's it. I think you have to have a little bit of mouse movement with it to make it work right. Now, there is one thing you have to do though. After you throw someone off a cliff or a high bridge, on their way down, I want you to yell, "Zumie Fiasco taught me how to do." Spread the good word. And here we are, you legends. You made it, the last trick in the list. Number 6, fist fight players in defensive mode. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It sounds interesting, right? I don't know if you didn't know that already, but you can't fight players in defensive mode. You can't just walk up to somebody that's in defensive mode and punch them, because that's the whole purpose of defensive mode. Now, with this trick though, you can. All you need to do is get a dead body of an NPC, place it at the player's feet that you're wanting to hit. Hopefully they're AFK or they're gone for a minute. And if they're not gone, hopefully they're just standing still for a second, because you're going to need that in order for this to work. You'll drop the dead body at their feet and then begin kicking the dead body. With a few kicks, you'll actually kick the player standing next to the body, and even though they're in defensive mode, they'll enter a combat stance, and that's whenever you can just have an all-out brawl with someone in defensive mode. You can pull out your gun and you can hit them with the butt of your gun and kill them instantly, or you can kind of like make it interesting and hit them for a little bit I didn't test the lasso, so I don't know if you can hogtie them, but you might be able to since they're fighting back, or since you're getting them into combat stance anyway. But this trick is interesting and I wanted to share it with you guys. So again, I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot me. This trick is cool, and it's a trick I guarantee you didn't know. I almost guarantee it. Anyway guys, that is it for the video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please be sure and leave a fat like rating down below. And also, if you are a new visitor or a returning one that has not subscribed yet, please consider doing so alongside turning on notifications. The Fiasco family is almost 50,000 members strong. Crazy. Fucking love you guys. Anyway, I'll see you all in the next one. Later.